Before we begin, let's go back to classification. See these pictures of groups and find a term that best describes them. Keep in mind to use terms related to biology. For example, this picture can be described as living organisms. Now, how will you describe this picture? And this? And this. So you can see that classification or grouping occurs at multiple levels. These levels of classification are known as taxa or taxon. With that understood, let's take a look at these definitions. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on some easily observable characters. So you identify certain characters of organisms and group organisms into single group based on the similarities between those organisms. Taxa or taxon is the scientific term for categories in which living organisms are grouped. Taxa can indicate categories at different levels or hierarchies. Just as we saw, the lowest hierarchy can be the lion, which is a land animal. Again, it belongs to the category animal and is a living organism. So these are different levels, each of which correctly represents the category to which the lion belongs. So taxa can indicate categories at different levels or hierarchies. Now let's see the taxons one by one in ascending order. The lowest one is species. Species is a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. So species is the basic unit of classification. Organisms which belong to the same species are similar in their structural and chemical makeup, and they can interbreed with each other. The offsprings produced will be viable and fertile. They might have a common ancestor. Now the next higher level is the genus. This is a small group of very closely related species. For example, lion, leopard and tiger, you know they are similar. They belong to the genus Panthera. The species is different. So organisms belonging to the same species will have maximum number of similar characters. They can even interbreed. Organisms belonging to same genus but different species will have many similar characters, but not as many as those belonging to same species. The next level is the family. This is a group of related genera with still lesser number of similarities as compared to genus and species. Now in plants, the families are grouped on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive features of plant species. The next level is the order. This is a higher category and it is a group of families which exhibit few similar characteristics. And then the class, which is related orders. For example, the class Mammalia will contain the orders Primata, Rodentia, Carnivora and many others. Then the phylum. Now many classes together form a class. For example, fishes, birds, reptiles, amphibians along with the mammals will form one phylum. In plants, we do not use the word phylum for this taxa. Instead, we use division. So in plants, phylum is replaced by division. The next higher level or the topmost level is the kingdom. Recall that you have studied Whitaker's 5 kingdom. Here we are studying about animals which are kingdom Animalia, and the plants which are grouped into kingdom Plantae. Other than that, there are 3 more kingdoms: the Monera, the Protista, and the Fungi. Now here we have the hierarchy from species to kingdom in ascending order as given in your book. To remember this sequence, I'll give you a very easy mnemonic. Here are your taxa in correct order: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Now let's just take the first letter of each of these taxon. You have KPCOFGS. Now how will we try to remember all these in correct sequence? So you know the first letter on the basis of this sentence, and then you can recall the correct sequence. Only thing you have to remember is that P level is for animals, phylum, but for plants you have to replace it with division. Now these are the classifications of some organisms that you need to remember. Now before we log out, some questions to check our understanding. Thank you. Keep learning. Bye-bye.